Next topic is jQuery plugin examples. So as I said before, jQuery, one of the strengths of jQuery is the very active community building. They are all building jQuery plugins. So there are a huge number of plugins, thousands of those available. So whenever you need a new function, new feature that are not provided by the jQuery core, then you might want to see whether there are in fact plugins created by someone else. It's highly likely that someone else already created a plugin for the thing you want. So in most cases, they actually provide the source code as well, so you can actually customize it, and you can actually create a new one out of it and things like that. Okay. All right. So here we're going to actually learn a few topics. So first, jQuery plugin repository. So this is the official place where jQuery community actually maintains all the plugins out there, and the plugin evaluation criteria. So in fact, one of the downside, so why don't I actually move forward with each of these topics? Okay, so jQuery plugin repository. So plugin categories in plugin repository. So UI, jQuery, animation, form, input, image, slider, slideshow, effect, and gallery. So these are the categories that are being used in plugin repository. So if you go to this website, this is jQuery plugin registry. Actually, sometimes people call it repository or registry. And you can actually see this categorization. Okay, so you can you can find all the plugins under animation, and this number of watchers is basically how many people actually kind of looking at this plugin. And this is number of forks. So basically these two numbers are actually representing how popular this particular plugin is. Okay, so if you choose, obviously this jQuery UI effects core, this is actually from jQuery team. So, obviously that is the top of the choice, right? But there are a lot more the plugins in animation space, okay? And if you want to search, for example, I want to search some plugins that does some kind of slide. So UI slide effect. Again, this is from the jQuery core team, and this So this is 1.10.3. So these two are from jQuery core team, and then we are seeing other third-party plugins. Okay. So this is the plugin registry or plugin repository. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna actually move forward. Plugin evaluation criteria. So one downside of jQuery is easy to build and open source style plugin ecosystem is there are just too many plugins to choose from. It's actually a nice problem to have, and sometimes it's hard to know the quality of the plugin. Okay, so for each functionality there are in fact many choices. Okay, so you got to actually choose the one that actually meets your need. Okay, and there are certain set of criteria that you want to use. Use or extend the one from jQuery package whenever possible. So, for example, jQuery UI slide effect plugin is from the jQuery team. So, the quality of this plugin is guaranteed. So use jQuery, the package whenever possible. Okay. And ensure that plugin is well documented and well tested, of course. Okay. And check if the plugin is being actively maintained. If the plugin has not been maintained, and typically all these plugins are in open source style and they maintain their code space in open source the repositories such as GitHub. Okay, so you can tell how often and how actively a plugin is being maintained. Okay. Check if the plugin has ample examples. Examples are good so that you can actually kind of imitate what has been done and get the feature right away. Okay. And ask for community opinions. If you actually go to jQuery mailing list or jQuery IRC channel, then a lot of experts are actually ready to help you to choose a particular plugin of the feature you're looking for. be wary of plugins that do far more than you need. So sometimes, a plugin could be just general purpose plugin, and that might not be a choice for you if you're looking for only a small portion of that plugin, in your code. I mean, if you actually download that plugin, then it comes with a lot of other baggages. Okay, so it might actually add some overhead to your page. So you might want to actually choose a plugin that does the thing well for the feature you want. Okay. All right, recommended plugins. So community actually come up with a set of plugins besides this registry, with this categorization. That are, in fact, if you Google, the jQuery plugin recommendation, then you're going to actually see a few of those. Okay, so I found this 40 awesome jQuery plugins you need to check out, and it was actually posted on May 2013, so relatively up to date, and also 30 plus innovative new plugins June 2013, and this is only for the single page website layout. Okay, so these plugins mentioned in these postings are considered the good plugins that you can actually use. So we're going to actually try those things in our hands-on lab. Now, in terms of exploring plugins, you want to try the demo. I mean, most of the good plugins, they have a demo. So you can try right there on their website, okay, and see whether they meet your needs. And then you can download the page. You can download the package. Most of them are actually maintained in GitHub. In that case, you can just clone it, git clone and the URL. And assuming you have a Git installed in your system, or you can just download the zip file, okay, and unzip it, and it does have it should have actually examples and every the plugin and everything. And then you can try demo locally, okay, and then you can study the code, and then you can use the plugin in your own code. Okay, so these are the steps that you are going to follow for exploring and using plugins. All right, so what we are going to do in our hands-on lab, and in fact, I'm going to actually give you enough time for you to explore all these plugins. So we're going to actually try 40 awesome jQuery plugins. Okay, so now before you move on to the hands-on lab, I want to actually talk about Content Delivery Network, CDN. Okay, so what is a CDN? CDN is basically a hosting site for all the JavaScript libraries. Okay, so there are major CDNs such as Google hosted libraries and Microsoft CDN. So if you actually go to this website, this is where the Google is maintaining a selection of important JavaScript libraries, including jQuery and jQuery UI. Okay, and this is from Google, and Microsoft has their own website. And they actually maintain again the set of plugins, of course, including jQuery. Okay. Now, so these two sites, Google and Microsoft, they actually maintain a selection of most popular and open source JavaScript libraries. However, there is a site called the CDN.js, and this is a site that hosts pretty much everything. Okay. So as it says right here, everyone loves Google CDN and even Microsoft, but the problem is they host only the most popular libraries, right? So if you want to actually have your library, if you want to actually use a particular library from a CDN site, this CDN.js is actually the place. Of course, this one hosts the jQuery, of course, jQuery, okay. Or it might actually host pretty much every single JavaScript library out there. Okay. Now, what's the point of using CDN? The CDN is a hosting site, so instead of actually having your JavaScript library file in local file system or part of your package, you can just use URL. Okay. And especially using Google and Microsoft, because their CDN is well distributed. So if you have a customer who's using your package from, let's say, China or Brazil, they can actually get the file from the distributed location, maybe location closer to China and closer to Brazil. So they might actually have a better performance in terms of downloading those the JavaScript libraries. Okay. All right, so that is the concept of CDN. Okay, all right. So now let's take a look at the hands-on lab documentation. So what I want you to do in this hands-on lab is exploring we're gonna actually use the 40 awesome jQuery plugins you need to check out. Okay, and so first exercise one is the jQuery registry. Okay, so you go over there and you just kind of explore these things. Okay, and you can search it. Okay, all right. So the scheme is pretty much the same, and then you can actually go to 40 awesome jQuery plugins, and in this website, this person Joshua Johnson actually categorized based on scrolling. So scrolling, he selected 2, and for charts, animation, and tables, he selected many. In fact, the hands-on table, and jQuery sparkliness, and the teamwork Gantt, and data tables, and the Arbor.js, okay, and layout, and then this is a layout, and so he actually categorized into 8 of those, okay. So so scrolling. So basically, what I want you to do is this take steps. For example, for jQuery, the go to jQuery waypoint, you are going to actually explore the functionality at the demo. So typically they will have the demo site. So in this case, he has a shortcut and examples. Okay, so you click this one, and you can actually try a few demos here. I'm going to try dial controls. Okay. Okay, so this is the dial control. You can actually, like this, okay? And the line height and text control, okay? And if you like that plugin, then you want to actually download it. So you can go to this website again, and they have either download or GitHub, okay? So you go to GitHub, and you can download a zip file if you do not have a Git. Typically, I like to use a Git, so I'm gonna just get the this URL. By the way, this is all documented in the hands-on lab. Okay, so I'm gonna actually go to my lab, or I go to my lab, and then I'm gonna say Git and clone and the location of this project. Okay, so it's going to download the package. So typically the package contains the plugin as well as the example. So I mean, you should actually create jQuery waypoints directory. So let me actually go to this directory. And this is actually the package. It has a documentation and examples. So I'm going to try some examples. Okay. So I'm actually trying these examples locally. Okay. So I go to examples, and so it does have 2 examples. So dial control, that was the one that I was seeing. Okay. So if I run this guy locally, and this is the demo that we have seen on the web, right? Okay. And then you can actually study the code. Okay. So here we have HTML, a title, meta, and link, and these are all styles. He has a bunch of styles right here. And then we have development, and then we have some developments. Okay. And this is just the documentation. This is actually pre means this is actually documentation, and then actual code is right here. So he has jQuery. So most of these plugins should have a jQuery as a dependency. So it should have jQuery, the JS file. So it's actually from Google CDN, and then it has the waypoint.js file. This is a plugin. Okay, so if you take a look at the plugin, it goes to .. So this is the plugin. So you can see plugin, this is a plugin definition. Okay, so here function, and there should be some FN thing somewhere. Okay, so this is probably a bit more complex than what we have learned so far. Okay. So a bunch of options. So, yeah, so here, we're actually seeing FN things right there. Okay. Yeah, so you don't really have to understand, all these things. I mean, this is probably a bit more complex plugins. Okay. So we are looking at the sample code here, right? So it's using this, all the way over. You're actually seeing this one. So this is a plugin, and then usage of this plugin is again pretty straightforward. It does have waypoint method. Okay, so you perform the search of your in this case, I want to actually find every element whose CSS style is dial, and then li, and then I want to actually apply the waypoint. Okay, so basically it's very simple code, right? Okay. All right, so that is the example, and I want you to try. So if I actually take a look at the lab documentation, so basically that's the step I want you to try. Try the local the online demo. So let's actually try a few more. So I'm gonna actually go over here. And let me actually explain the documentation first. Okay, so basically these are the steps you have done. Okay, and download it, or if you don't have Git installed on your system, you can just download it, the zip file from here or from here, and unzip it, and that's what you got. And just take a look at the things. Okay. The same thing for chart and animation. Try one of the plugins are listed over there. So you might want to actually try data tables. Okay. So and here try arbor.js as well. For layout, try the Woodmark jQuery plugin. So and for text, try fit text. And for cool UI, try notify. Okay, so whenever something click, that it will actually notify on the top. Okay, and then this is page slide, and these are tooltips, and this is the wow slider, and this is miscellaneous, which is the jQuery Instagram. So among the 40, I want you to actually experience as many as you can. Basically, again, try the demo, and then download the package and see the examples, and then whether you can actually use that plugin in your own program. Okay. All right, so I'm going to in fact give you enough time for this, okay, because I plan to actually have this one as a last topic. So we didn't have a 15 minutes break, so I'm going to give you a 15 minutes break, and then I'm going to give you almost, let's say, yeah, I'm going to give you guys about 15 minutes plus 15 minutes. So we'll be back in 65 minutes, 5 minutes after 4. And then we are going to actually do jQuery UI presentation. Okay? All right.